Oh, hello everyone, it's Jackie here. Some of you might have seen the pocket I made in a video a short time ago. I've been asked by a couple of people if I would do a tutorial on it, so I am going to now. It's quite simple, so hopefully this won't take too long, but I may spread it over 2 tutorials because the upload speed is so slow for me. So to make the pocket you need just one sheet of 12 by 12 card, and out of that you need to cut a piece 7 inches by 12 inches. This is going to give us a pocket that measures 7 inches by 5 inches. So this is the 7 by 12 and you need to score it at 5 inches, 5.5 inches, 10.5 inches and 10.75 inches. What that'll give us when we fold it is a 1/2 inch at the bottom for the base of the pocket, and where we make the flap we're just going to have a 1/4 inch at the top, just to give it a bit of room really. And then the other thing I do once I've scored it is off this edge, so the bit that folds up, I cut off a hair's breadth really. I can't really give you a measurement because it is literally a tiny piece, just so that when we fold that over it fits nice and square. Second piece is cut at 7 inches by 3.5 inches, and then as you can see I've made a decorative edge on mine, and that's going to glue onto this shorter flap here to make the full flap. And then the sides of the pocket have a gusset, and for that you need 2 pieces that are 5 inches by 2.5 inches, and you need to score at 5/8, at 1 1/4, at 1 7/8. And then the way I did this was to fold in half. It's quite important to try and get these pieces as even as possible so that the folds all match, and that keeps the whole pocket nice and square. So fold your centre one that way and then fold the other 2 back on themselves, so you've got a piece that looks like an M. Okay, so let's start putting that together. I use a wet glue for this. Never too good when I'm gluing in front of the camera. This seems to go a bit wrong, but we'll see how we get on. So this flap goes onto the short bit, and you need to glue it so that it's just under the score line there. Just wipe the glue off. Should dry okay. So that's that piece. And then we've put the side pieces in, but to start with I'm only going to glue one side of them. So I'm going to glue one flap to the back of my pocket. Okay. Before you do that you need to check that the gussets fit between your 2 score lines, just here. You want the folds to be able to work properly, and that won't happen if you go over the score lines. So with your middle fold pointing inwards, we'll glue one side down. You want to get that so that it's right at the edge, so your finish is nice and neat. One side. I'll do the other side. And then it's important that you let these dry thoroughly before you try and attach the front pieces. But there will be time to do that, because what I do next, before I do that anyway, is ink all the edges and put the patterned paper on. I'm going to use Vintage Photo because I've got a craft coloured card here, and I'm going to ink every edge, including the folded pieces and the folds on my gusseted parts here. And then as well, before I finish gluing it, I'm going to attach the pattern paper. I'm using Prima Botanical in blue for the front and the back. I've got a scrap piece of blue sort of spotted paper for my flap here, and we also need to cover the inside because we've got this ridge here. I didn't have enough of that, so I've managed to find a piece of blue, plain blue paper, which will do for that. I also ink the edges of all the papers. So your pattern paper, you need 2 pieces measuring 6 7/8 by 4 7/8, 2 pieces 6 7/8 by 2 3/4, and 1 piece 6 7/8 by 3/8 of an inch, which is going to go along the bottom here. I like to finish it off with that. I tend to leave a very small gap around my papers. That's the look I like. Obviously, if you want that a bit bigger, you can cut your papers a bit smaller. So I'm going to go away, ink my edges, attach my papers, and then I'll come back and we'll finish off, and I'll show you some of the things that I put inside the pocket. Thank you for watching.